What's up, fight fans? We are back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I am your host, Edwin, and we have an amazing show for you today. Let me get set up here, and I'll be right with you guys. As you step in, let me know that you can hear me loud and clear, and let me know where you're watching from. Put it in the chat. All right. How you guys doing out there? Where do all fights start? At round one. Like I said, we have an amazing show for you tonight. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know that you can hear me loud and clear. Naoya Inoue is coming off a good win versus TJ Doheny. TJ Doheny went out into Japan. He was 4-0 in Japan going up against in Japan. So now he's 4-1. And not a lot of people are talking about the fact that, in fact, Naoya Inoue did stop him, and no other man has stopped him. So that's saying a lot. So when we're talking and we're looking back at what he did, what he accomplished, and things like that, these are the kind of things that are gonna come up in conversation. Well, he did stop TJ Doheny that no one else could. These are the kind of things that are going to come into factor and into play later on in the conversation. They're going to start to really go through his resume and his body of work and what he accomplished in the sport of boxing. And these are these kind of moments. What did you do against your competition when you went up against them? You see? Now, I also saw there was a lot of other channels saying and putting down Naoya Inoue's choice of competition in TJ Doheny, right? Okay. Now I'm here to debunk that. This is why, right? Okay. I believe that Naoya Inoue's first fight in the 122-pound weight division was it not Stephen Kubo Fulton? And can we all agree that Stephen Kubo Fulton was the best 122 pounder the world had to offer? Can we all agree to that, right? The second toughest man at the time was Marlon Tapales. Whether or not anybody can agree that somebody else, whatever, he was there. He had two belts. Was he not the second best fighter and champion at 122 pounds in a row? Okay. Was Luis Pantera Nares not the number one mandatory for the WBC? Yes. Now, I said all of that to say this. These men are not robots. And as we all know in the sport of boxing, it is not recommended that you take one tough fight after after the next, after the next, after the next. Eventually, you're going to run into somebody. And if you want a little bit of longevity in the sport of boxing, I suggest you take lesser fights in between, right? In this situation, he was the only man that stepped up. A worthy opponent? Did he not prove it? Did he not, TJ Doheny, help put up a good account of himself? Did he not hold Naoya Inoue at bay with his awkward movement, it seems like if you're a technical boxer, Naoya Inoue is going to have his way with you. But it seems to when you can disrupt his rhythm, and he doesn't necessarily know what you're doing, that can make him step back. You see? So and read everything in front of him. He's going to start to make adjustments, reads, and then he's going to start to pick you apart, just like he did to TJ Doheny. Now, what a lot of people took out of this fight were things I really didn't think they were going to. They started to talk about his weight. They started to talk about that he looked sluggish a little and not as fast. They started to ask some questions like that. You could see he got a little annoyed by it. You see, what they didn't ask were look how accurate, look with very little like effort he was touching up TJ Doheny, and then look at it didn't look like he was hitting him hard. It looked like he was hitting him with a stiff jab, and then occasionally he would pop him with the right hand. But typically when a guy just pops you with that, you pop, okay, you know, teach me a lesson, right? That's not what was happening in there. TJ Doheny's face was really wearing it. I was kind of surprised. So, by all the sluggish movement and everyone saying he looked a little bit slower, what I saw, he looked a lot stronger. He hit that man one time in his right. Well, let's talk about what happened. He was actually initiating a barrage and a brutal body attack at that time. The time that this foul incident occurred, TJ Doheny was trying to run. If there was somewhere in that ring he could hide, he'd be there. But he couldn't. He was trying to survive. And then he knew that the time was ticking down. So he decided to shell up. And he got caught with a good one, and it made him turn away. When he turned away, that's when Naoya Inoue was going to throw another body shot, and it landed exactly where he was going to throw it. But TJ Doheny shifted his position and gave him his back. That's where the punch landed. Kudos to TJ Doheny for not folding on the ground right there, yelling. They would have went to instant replay, saw that it was a punch behind the back, and who knows what they would have said, right? Um, I think it would have still been ruled a TKO because it was actually done by a punch. I know that you can't punch a person in the back or the back of the head, but they would have saw the situation that TJ Doheny, in fact, was the one that initiated him turning and put him, you know what I mean? He didn't just go around his back and he was standing straight in front of him. That would be a foul, you see? So, kind of like what Ryan Garcia did when Ryan Garcia gave Devin Haney his back and was like letting him hit him on right there and stuff. When Devin Haney was just whacking away all over Ryan Garcia, you know. So, similar situation, but it only took one punch with this guy. That's all. And now, oh yeah, anyway, now, like, I wanted to talk about it with you guys, and I was gonna wait for you guys to get in and start pulling up your chats. Let me do that. In fact, why is this stopped over here? Let's stop it. What's up? All right. What's up, Armando? How you guys doing? On my live stream on that, it stopped. I don't know why. Let me check it. If in fact, if it's running on the YouTube thing, because maybe it stopped and I'm sitting here talking and I don't know why I keep making the same mistake. Why I keep making the same mistake. All right, so why I keep making the same mistake. All right, so why I keep making the same mistake. So, like, we're gonna talk about Naoya Inoue and his positioning and where we see he's gonna fight next at 122 pounds. And I want to talk about a bit later with uh who do you think he should fight at 126? And a little bit later on in the show, I'm gonna break that down. I'm just gonna jump around here and break down a little bit this Saul Canelo Alvarez fight as well. We're 10 days out. Here we go, guys. We're 10 days out. Edgar Berlanga, better show up, bro. Yo, Edgar, listen.
What did he say?
I said, show up. Show the man, listen. Edgar's over here at a football game, popping off his jewelry, showing his stuff. You know, and they were trying to say Saul was in the gym, training, this, that, and the third. So they're already trying to show you that Edgar Berlanga is more interested about the bling bling than the fight. You know, he's up on stage with his shirt off, flexing. What's he trying to prove to Saul Canelo Alvarez? That he got money? When you're talking to a millionaire? Like what are you doing? I don't think you're trying to go dollar for dollar with Saul. That's not what you're trying to do, right? Are you just trying to show him that you balling out or something? Because the man's not impressed. Like, stay focused on the fight, right? So I try to do some digging around, right? Wanted to do some digging around, look at Edgar Berlanga, some of his training video. Now I'm not too sure, but I saw some video. Some of it looked like it was older. Some looks like it's mixed in. So I gotta really like sort through it, right? I was watching him, you know, and I was just like, uh the one thing I do notice about Edgar Berlanga, he has power. That's apparent. You could even hear it from the sounds of the bag when he's hitting the bag. He has power. Now, with a lot of great fighters, elite fighters, and good fighters, not all fighters know how to deal with power. Saul Canelo Alvarez, unfortunately, knows how to deal with power very well. He hold Triple G, you know, and we can't look away from the fact that out of all his 61 fights, no one's ever knocked him out. Saul Canelo Alvarez, he's lost, but not even Demetrius Bivol could knock him out at 175 pounds and probably even heavier on fight night. Obviously heavier. And he was catching Saul with flush shots. It goes to show you about Saul Canelo Alvarez's chin. That shit holds up. He's been tagged by some pretty big men, and he's been in some pretty big battles. And he has some pretty big names on his resume that I could have said at least one of those guys could at least put him down once. None of them. None of them. So that's dangerous. That's dangerous. It might be that Edgar Berlanga has power, but it might be power Saul has felt before. It might not be anything, out of this world type power. So what Edgar Berlanga really needs to do is the one thing he's never done. Go the distance. 12 rounds, right? He's gone, the distance in shorter fights and stuff. But in a world championship fight, he has no world championship experience. So I'm not sure Edgar Berlanga can knock out Saul Canelo Alvarez. And I'm not even sure he can might box him. Now, it's true. It's true. Saul looks like he lost not a full step, but maybe a half a step. He's got boxing miles on him. Saul Canelo Alvarez. He's only 34, 33 years old. right? He's 33, I think. I don't know when exactly his birthday is. I I have to look that up. But Saul got a lot of boxing miles. He's been in a lot of fights, some wars. He's been, and of late, you know, um, he's been going the distance, you know. So I think his last knockout was Caleb Plant. Saul Canelo Alvarez's not last knockout was Caleb Plant. He knocked out Caleb Plant like in the 11th round, I believe it was, right? So Edgar Berlanga's gonna have to outfight him. He's gonna have to outfight him, not outbox him, outfight him. That's what he's gonna have to do. That's the only way I could see that he can win this for Edgar Berlanga. He's gonna have to make it rough sometimes. He might get hurt in the fight. He's gonna have to learn how to persevere in the moment. He's been down before in his career. He's been hurt before in his career, and he managed to come back and win. Whatever controversy aside, he came back and won. Okay, so he's been in some boxing situations before, so I think he could respond well. I mean, it's totally up to him how he responds in the moment. Um, but I really believe that Edgar Berlanga's only key to success here, he's gonna truly have to outfight him. Yeah, yeah. I don't think he's just gonna want to stand there and just box with him. You're not gonna want to do that. You're gonna want to mix it up, get it a little dirty here and there, and just fight, fight, pa 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 pa, go in, pa pa pa. Be careful, be intelligent, have your guard up. Saul has a vicious body shot. He has a, a check hook to the body out of this world. So you gotta. I hope Edgar Berlanga knows these things and he's paying attention. Not to get too close to him. To me, what Bivol did, right? Demetrius Bivol, what he did is that he kept framing up on Saul and pushing him off, resetting and giving him that 1-2 straight down. And they were heavy. But he kept going. He kept going. Boom, boom, 1-2, boom, boom. And then he would throw the hook around the glove and hit Saul on the side of the head. He would follow it up, boom, straight down the middle. And then he would frame off, push off, and then see what Saul was doing. See if he could frustrate him that Saul want to get. See, when you hit a fighter sometimes with a big shot, typically they want to get it back. But a well-trained fighter will stay calm. You see, a less trained fighter is going to want to get it back. So what you do is when you hit him with a big shot, you relax, you set back, and you get in position. You anticipate what he's going to try to do. If he tries to go lunge forward, you shift back just a slight shift. You don't have to really move both feet. You just got to move your back foot. Just push your back, just a slight step back with your back foot, not your front foot. Leave your front foot where it is. Step back. He's over going to extend. You could either go in with the uppercut or you could come around. How far did you see him pass you? That's up to you. There's not one particular shot in that, you know, you're gonna have to see where he's landing, where he's how far did he overcommit? Did he under where is he? But when you take that step back, it's gonna create that distance so that his punch comes inches from your face. It's gonna come within inches. Just stay calm. It's just gonna right here, nothing but air. And in that moment, that's when you step. Chip, one forward, one forward. You see? Like this. Bam. The back one comes forward and that one's and move with it. Boom. Right? So Saul Canelo Alvarez is way too smart for any of this fucking rookie shit. I'm gonna try to tell you right now. You're not gonna catch him with no shit like that. Floyd Mayweather was able to catch him with the shoulder roll, right, to Saul, because Floyd's cat-like reflexes, he was so close to him, to Canelo, that when he was measuring the distance, he was like, I gotta hit him. It's typically if I throw a punch, if I throw this one, then I throw that one, I usually hit the guy. And he was going, and Floyd was going underneath him. Floyd was already over here. That was the problem. Saul couldn't. He had to be impressed, right? He was like, man, this guy's fast. He was making Saul miss by such a big margin. Remember when Floyd looked out to the audience? It was like, and he just, it was like a hate, a frustration. He couldn't hit him. He couldn't hit him. So when you got that kind of like cat-like reflexes, you can play with the guy in front of you and bait him a little bit better because you got some things that some people don't have. Now, I'm not gonna sit there and say that freaking Berlanga can do that. Hell no, he's gonna end up getting knocked out, right? But with the settle move, the way I said it, so yeah, once again, he's not gonna fucking fall for that. Yeah. He's gonna be patient in his approach, and he's gonna count on the fact that Berlanga is gonna wanna like this is the way I see it playing out in my head with Berlanga, Saul Canelo Alvarez. There's multiple versions, right? But the one main one, basically, it's gonna be Berlanga trying to come out and set the pace, and Saul's gonna allow him to do so. Saul's gonna try to allow Berlanga to get false courage in the fight right away. Saul's gonna be in there doing boxing stuff. Make no mistake, he's gonna be doing boxing stuff, meaning he'll throw a jab, he's gonna throw it downstairs to the body while he's trying to just push forward, right? Berlanga's gonna be snapping the jab, 1, 2, boom, boom, boom. Crowd's gonna act, he's gonna calm down. Berlanga's gonna try to stay composed. What's gonna set Berlanga off is that at some point in the fight, in the early, right there in the round, Saul's gonna hit him with something good. Berlanga's gonna try to wake up. He's not gonna be stunned or anything. He's just, pow, I'm in a fight, and he's gonna try to come out and get it. As the rounds are playing off, that's typically what we're gonna see. We're gonna see Saul going forward, giving Berlanga, just like Tank Davis did, Frank the Ghost Martin. He'll test you during the whole round, but he's pushing the action and allowing you to get false confidence. He's going to let Berlanga throw off everything he has in the first half of the fight, but he's going to push Berlanga. He's going to push him. There's going to be moments in the round, like in round 4 or 5, that he's going to really put a lot of pressure on Berlanga. He's going to hit Berlanga with some big shots and everything. But by the 8th round, right around there, 8th, 9th, right around there is when you're going to see the real Saul Canelo Alvarez come out. That's when I believe it's going to happen. He's not going to let it play out a little bit longer like he did with Jaime Munguia, Ryder, right? This time, I think Saul Canelo Alvarez feels like he doesn't have enough experience. He doesn't have enough fight experience that 8 or 9 rounds will be the right time to initiate your attack. And I think Berlanga might be able to survive the 12th round. Just, there's been a lot of other guys. Saul couldn't get out of there. Doesn't seem like he's knocking these guys out and he's still got that kind of power or something. He's just not dropping these guys. Like I said, what was it? Caleb Plant is his last guy, and that had due in part that he had help with Caleb Plant falling apart and his conditioning all fell apart. So I'm not sure if Edgar Berlanga can dedicate the time it takes to beat a champion such as Saul Canelo Alvarez. I think Edgar Berlanga is going into fight camp. He might be doing extra reps. He might be even running an extra mile, but he's basically training the same way. And he thinks by adding a couple more reps to all the regiments and trying a couple new things, that that's going to get you prepared to fight a fighter such as Saul Canelo Alvarez. I'm not sure if he understands that. When you get an opportunity like this is what Edgar Berlanga's been probably dreaming about since he got into boxing. Moments like this. There, listen, you have to have film study, strategy, plan, plan A and a plan B. You always got to have a plan A and a plan B, my coach told me. And he said, what's plan A? Right? And plan A is to win the fight. And he says, what's plan B? Enforce plan A. That's what plan B is. And I was like, all right, that's what it is then. There's only one way he needs to be thinking in this. Win, 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 win. Come up with a plan, devise a plan, come up with a strategy, and whatever you put in the gym. Let's say, okay, the Saul Canelo Alvarez fight is obviously for world titles. It's a 12-round fight, right? Okay. You should be fighting, right? 3 times that amount. You should be going in harder, right? It's like 12 round, next 12 rounds, 12 rounds, 12 rounds, 12 rounds. You got to get that in type shit. Work on your film study, work on your plans, look at flaws. Um, you know, uh get your coach to look at boxer behavior. Boxer behavior. When you study film, you don't study the fighter and everything he's doing. No, you don't do that because a lot of coaches and fighters make the mistake of judging that fighter like that, and they're not anticipating that he's actually getting better with this training camp, and they're working on some things. So the things that you might have seen in the tape, it might not be there for you on fight night because he was working on that and he fixed that problem. But now by your coach watching fighter behavior, these are things that fighters been doing since they were kids. Bad habits, fighters' behavior, things that no matter what they working on, you hit them, they divert right back to that person. What is that behavior they do? Figure it out, find it out, and you'll find your window. Yes, you will. There's certain things that all fighters do, no matter how better they get. Somewhere at some point in the fight, they're gonna do that one particular thing. They've been doing it since a kid. Watch, study your fighter. You'll find it. You'll whatever it is, whatever little niche it is, you'll find it. You'll notice in the one fight he got better from here. He got better, but wait a minute, he still does this, and he did it in this fight, and he did it in this fight. Wait, that's it. That's it. There's my window. That's coaching, bro. Come on, people. Listen, hit this. What you guys doing? What's up, Armando? What's up, everybody? Smoochie, how you doing? In the building. Smoochie, you know what it was, right? It wasn't that I was going out and I came back home. I'm looking all fly and stuff. No, I knew you were gonna be here tonight, and I was like, yo, you know what I mean? I had to be on my A game. How y'all doing out there? What's up, Carlos? What's up, Carlos? What's up, Luis? This is gonna be, look, this is gonna be a big fight because whenever Saul Canelo Alvarez, comes into town, sometimes tickets can fluctuate, but it doesn't matter because it's a Saul Canelo Alvarez fight. He has all his And that's gonna matter and count, right? And Berlanga has his supporters. You better believe it. As a Latin man myself, being Puerto Rican, you know what I mean. I don't show favoritism, so I just want to get that out of the way. But I also want to show support to my Puerto Rican brother, and I want him to do well in the fight. I would love for him to have a good account for himself. See, just the other night, we saw PJ Doheny go in the ring with Naoya Inoue. And if you saw my live, you would have saw quite right away. I noticed PJ Doheny was well trained. He was well trained for that situation. Fighting against Naoya Inoue, whoever trained that guy, shouts out to him. I think it's that Springfield coach too. I forget his name. Hector, I think it is. Uh, um, I gotta go look up his name, man. But he's got a really good stable over there. I heard that his boxing gym is like a firehouse, an old firehouse. He has the beds upstairs and the gym downstairs. Fighters from all around the world go there to train, and they sleep there, train there. So he has fighters in and out of that gym all the time. And TJ Doheny went to that gym to prepare for the fight against Naoya Inoue. Yeah, that's where he went. So I found that out later, right? But once I found it out, I was because I wanted to know, yo, who trained him like that? The things TJ Doheny was doing, that patience and those reads, the movement, the switching it up. He had something for every round. He took a page out of Marlon Tapala's book. Marlon Tapales was trying to do that, but Marlon Tapales realized that in the fight, he kind of did like some Ali stuff where Ali recognized the rope a dope in the fight. Marlon Tapales started thinking he's catching on to me. Let me try, and that was just boxing IQ 101 for Marlon Tapales. Marlon Tapales started switching it up, but what Naoya Inoue, it speaks to his level as a fighter. Naoya Inoue was like, okay, there's a difference between you training like that and making it up as you go. The problem is that your body is not doing the exact same thing. And to every fighting style, you have to have an offense and a defense. So if I come forward, what are you going to do? The way Naoya Inoue determined that, he was testing the intelligence of Marlon Tapales. When he started doing, Marlon Tapales was doing that, going like this. It's just that he figured it out that he was doing that on the fly, that he didn't even know what he was doing. Now, yeah, anyway, saw through that. It was he had him for a couple or a round or two, and then Marlon Tapales tried to switch it up again. In fact, in the seventh round, he started having pretty good success. But by then, Naoya Inoue was like, "Oh, I see what you're doing." And he started just breaking through his defense. He didn't have no defense for his style. Yeah. He was just trying to evade. And now, yeah, anyway, saw through it. That's fighting IQ. So, like, man, like I sometimes I think of his fights and I'm like, man, how is he this good? How is he always in the right position, throwing the right punch? You know, he's been blessed with speed, power, eye to eye coordination, accuracy, all in one. And it's a blessing to see a fighter like this be born and be given the opportunity to truly do what they were born to do. In this world, as we know, everyone's not always destined or promised to do what they were born to do. Sometimes fate intervenes. They cut your life short. Stepped outside, got hit by a drunk driver, got hit by a stray bullet. Maybe you were a good kid. Maybe you were a bad one. Maybe you were misled. But the point is that you never get to where you show your genius. and we never get to see you. But every once in a while, a special fighter comes up and we see them, and still they're not safe. Just because you can see the ability in the fighter, that doesn't always guarantee great career, doesn't always spell great career out, right? Why? Because the money, the women, the drugs, the alcohol sometimes will take your fighter away from you. The car accidents, the flipping of the car. Sometimes the lifestyle takes them right out of boxing. Nobody actually beats your fighter. You just see him slowly drift away. And one day you ask yourself, whatever happened to these guys? Carlo twins. Whatever happened to them? Where are they? I heard one of them say he want to make a comeback. The other one said something else. And in the same exact interview, he said he retired. So I don't know where their mental state is at, but I wish them the best. And I would hope that the Charlo twins both returned. They're still young enough. They're 33 years old. It's not like they're old. They got a year that they can dedicate to a gym and still come back and perhaps do something. Yeah. But sometimes it's not the fight game that takes our fighters away. Sometimes we never get to see our fighter fully develop into the fighter we knew he or she could be. It doesn't mean they're safe. It's up to the fighter to realize where they are, how dedicated are they to their sport. Xander Zion, I believe it was his last fight, or maybe it was the fight before that. A reporter asked him, "Do you have a girlfriend?" He said, "I don't got time for a girlfriend. I haven't had a girlfriend since I was a little kid. I don't want no girlfriend. I only have one vision, is to become world champion. That's a distraction." He shut that down. I was like, all right, young man. Devin Haney right now is reporting that he's about to have a baby. A lot of these fighters can have a lot of different distractions in their life. But what you have to focus on is what got you that life. What made that life for you? You think you got $1 million, 1.7 million, $2 million, that's going to sustain you for the rest of your life? You know what the hell insurance is on a Ferrari? You know where you chose to live? And you know Uncle Sam comes and takes half every year in taxes. Before you know it, you're doing commercials. You're grabbing a mic at a sports show and you see him back. Nah, I just wanted to get back to this. Man, listen, that lifestyle is expensive, isn't it? So sometimes some of these guys get a little bit money, a little bit of change, you know what I'm saying? Some chains on and stuff, and think that an image sometimes is more important than what you should really be doing. Edgar Berlanga got me a little nervous, more than a little nervous. And I sit here in front of you and I don't feel like I'm speaking with a gun in the back of my head. Not today, anyway. I agree to the point that I give Edgar Berlanga a puncher's chance. He is a professional athlete, a professional boxer. He's undefeated. And you know, when we talk about, you know, whether a guy is battle tested or he can beat this guy, right? The guy's on the other side, he's saying, this is all I ever wanted. For you to give me my opportunity to show the world I'm not bullshitting. I just didn't get my opportunity. I had to fight these guys. But if you put me in the ring with this guy, I promise you, I'm going to wipe the floor with him. And everybody's like, yeah, 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 yeah. Then all of a sudden, that guy gets in there and wipes him down, right? Whether it was a close fight, knockout, this, but he wins, right? And he's up on the mic. I told everybody, I told y'all, It wasn't that I was a bum. It wasn't that I was this. It wasn't. I ain't never got my opportunity. Well, Edgar Berlanga, guess what? This is your opportunity. What are you going to do? Less than 10 days. We about to find out, aren't we? Listen, I hope he's in there. I hope he really look. Do I believe that the coaching that Saul Canelo Alvarez is getting and the experience that he's getting from Eddie Reynoso, right? And the coaching that Edgar Berlanga is getting. Who's coaching? Who's on Edgar Berlanga's entire team? Does he only have still that one coach? You mean the coach that you came up with, that you fired, lost your mind, got a little bit of money, had lasting performances, or going back to the coach? Okay, what's going on over there on your side? Definitively. Like, there's a lot of times where there's like coaches, right? Like Bill Haney, for instance, he tries to coach Devin Haney, right? Sometimes it's just not Bill Haney. He goes out and gets outside source. Another coach comes in, sharpening other areas. Also, Bill Haney learning as he's going along. Because you can't convince me that Bill Haney has years and years of coaching experience, because that's bullshit. Uh, if you got as long as your son has been a pro or an amateur, I don't know how long he was coaching him in his beginning of his career, but I do know that Bill Haney went to jail. He was in the music business. He wasn't in the boxing business. So a lot of Bill Haney's, he's learned a lot throughout the years. But when you work with different fighters, the more you work with fighters, different situations, every time you're in a corner as a coach and you're watching fights, that experience is priceless. You can't pay for that. For him to come in, look at your fighter and know exactly what's wrong with your fighter rather than working months and months and trying to like, no, that's experience. Guy can come in, he's going to pull up a chair and he's going to say shadow box or spar. Do whatever you're doing today. I just want to look at you. He's just going to look at him. From right there, he's going to know what to do. You Money can't buy that. You see? So in these situations, man, Berlanga, man, I think he's out coached. I think he's outgunned. But truly, 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 I have seen situations like the one I described. Edgar Berlanga, he could really be that. Can he be the one? Can he be the one? Can it be real? He'd be like, yo, I just wanted my opportunity. That's all I ever wanted. And I was going to wipe this dude down. So, yo, it would be crazy. Let me tell you something right now. I would lose my mother effing mind, bro. Bro, I would lose my mind if Edgar Berlanga pulls off the biggest upset. I believe, shit, that'd be bigger than Tyson and Buster Douglas then. That'd be, well, yeah, 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 hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, man, that shit'll beat it, bro. Ah, oh, that would be, I would lose my mind, bro. I really would. And then on top of it, what I also would be happy about, that he brought those belts home to the US, Edgar Berlanga. Yeah. Mexico got those belts at 168. And the other one got stripped from him, right? Okay. So, people are going to fight for that. But he has an opportunity at the rest of the belts. That means that if Edgar Berlanga was to pull that off, yo, now let's start counting some belts, baby. America's back. Ain't the chicker, baby. Come on, Puerto Rico. You know what I mean? Like, yo, we need some of these belts back. So, um, oh, that would be a big moment, man. Let me not get too hyped up because I started selling myself on it. Like all of a sudden, Edgar Berlanga turned into Superman. He's gonna have to earn it, man. And like I said, he doesn't even have to win necessarily. Just give a good account. Show us that you tried. Show us that you were in there, that you're training, that you gave it your all. Even if he outsmarts you, Edgar, doesn't matter. Just don't go in there and lay an egg. That would be the worst case scenario, and then he gets knocked out. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? A lot of our Puerto Rican fighters lost fights. Didn't mean we walked away from them. On the contrary, I think we came back to the next fight even stronger than ever. Because that's how we are. We rock with our people, right? So it's not about that. It's just about that. Well, well, a lot of the boxing Puerto Ricans that I've talked to myself, what they're stuck on is he hasn't earned it. He didn't do the things we expected him to do when he started messing around. And it kind of turned us off. Then what he looked like in the ring, we were like, oh man, this dude is partying. He ain't getting no better. Fight after fight, that's what we started saying. He's not getting any better. Now the knockouts disappeared. Then he's in tears on his last performance because he got a knockout because he knows the situation he was in. Top Rank released him. They let him go. They released him out of his contract. That's embarrassing. It's not like you got to your last fight and you were renegotiating. Nah, matter of fact, we don't even want you. You're not fighting when we wanted you to. You're taking too much time in between fights. We scheduled you 3 or 4 fights. You didn't take any of them that Top Rank gave you. So does this give me the confidence? Did this speak about a guy that's dedicated? No. So because I'm Puerto Rican, I gotta be forced to do what? And out of respect, I'm willing to go that far. I'm willing to back him. Come on, Berlanga, bro. Let's go PR. Right? Now I hope he proves everybody wrong. But from what I'm seeing, if we were in court, the district attorney would the jury still be out. Like, yo, listen, they got a lot to read. Yo, I don't know how he's gonna do it, man. Just don't know. I think the only scenario logically for me in my head that I can think that he can pull this big upset, one, he's gonna have to fight him, get Saul Canelo Alvarez, frustrate him, walk him into a big punch. Walk him into a big punch, hurt him. If you can't put him down, at least show in the judges that you've been hurting him, and you lock some rounds in the bag. Be aware of the rounds going by and if you're up or not. You don't have to be thinking of the rounds, but you would like your coaches in your corner to at least be alert for you. Don't lie to you. Don't let your team lie to you. Yo, you're doing great, Edgar. You're getting rocked. Don't do that. You see? So he's gonna have look, he's got a tough fight in front of him. Absolutely. Absolutely. Edgar Berlanga has a tough fight in front of him. We're gonna find out. We're soon approaching the fight. We got Naoya Inoue out of the way. Where does that land with Naoya Inoue? Who does he fight? He's got people. He's got just. He's got a lot of options, but only if the options play along. There's people there, whether or not they would fight him. Now, Boo Boo Shustu Carrington, which we were speaking about yesterday, right? He's ranked number one in one of the sanctioning bodies. Number two. What matter of fact, where? Wait a minute. Okay. All right. So, Boo Boo Shusu Carrington. That's what we were talking about, right? Okay. So, if he was to move up right now to, well, he's not going to. He's not going to. Naoya Inoue is going to fight in December, like they said, and then the announcement into Las Vegas, coming into America type shit, right? Okay. So, what do we got? Okay, Ralphie, Espinoza is the WBO, right? Le, Angelo Leo is the IBF, and you got Nick Ball is the WBA, and Ray Vargas is the WBC, right? Okay, so under the WBC, right? Robesi Ramirez is number one. Bruce Carrington is number two. And in the WBA, Bruce Carrington is number one. So Bruce Carrington is the number one ranked opponent for Nick Ball's belt. Okay. And then Angelo Leo, the number one opponent is vacant. And Bruce Carrington is ranked number 10. For the WBO, Bruce Carrington is ranked number two. And Robersi is ranked number one. Arnold is number two, the Japan guy, then Luis Nari, and so forth and so forth. But yeah, so Bruce Carrington is the number one contender for the WBA. He can grab on one of those belts, right? If he was to be able to beat the guy, right? Which the WBA would be Nick Ball. Okay. I think he can beat him. It's whether or not, what happens. So these are future fights for Naoya Inoue. Who would you want him to fight? The more likelihood of it all is Espinoza because he has the WBO. And I've always said this. You guys know that that's his way in. His way into the 126 without a champion being able to avoid him would be the mandatory claw that the WBC has in place for their belt, which you can challenge the above champion, which would be Espinoza. So that's his way into the 126. You can't deny him. Now, as we all know, there's no law that says the other champions must fight him. The only way they can fight him is that you enter negotiations. You guys saw how Bob Arum and Ed Hearn messed up that negotiation for the other fight, right? But that's another story. But I started laughing when I saw that too, right? So, um, they got to enter the negotiation to get the other champion to fight him. Which champion you think also is going to give him the best problem? Now, if you ask me, right? Okay, Bruce Carrington, he's going to have to meet up with Bruce Carrington because he's going to probably at the time, if you're letting Naoya Inoue play out the rest of, you know, and then fighting the big fight in Las Vegas, by then a calendar year must have gone by. I think Bruce would probably try to get that belt, and then we can have a super fight among them. And I think he'll be that much more prepared for Naoya Inoue. You see what I'm saying? Um, I like Bruce Carrington. I like him. I think he's sharp. I think he's nice. I think he's good. He has some things he needs to work on, like all fighters. He does. He has a couple things, but I like him. I like him. And I like him as a future opponent for Naoya Inoue. Let's see if he's the one that can finally beat Naoya Inoue. You know what I'm saying? Time will tell. If not, I like Espinoza. Espinoza at the 126, he's 6'1". He's the tallest 126-pound champion in history. in all of boxing. So, he's like on some Sebastian Fundora type shit, Espinoza, right? So, um, I like the puzzle that he is. He has that tough Mexican warrior spirit. You know how those Mexican fighters fight. They fight to the death, baby. All right. And it's forward pressure, and late in the last 10, 15 years, they've been adding a little flair. And the Mexican fight game has evolved. Other Mexican fighters are adding their own like American slick style and other training into it. So Mexicans don't all fight the same anymore. Some of them are real technical, nice, real patient fighters, strong chins. You know how they come. They durable as hell. All right. And with that puzzle that he presents with the long reach and the long arms, I know Naoya Inoue knows how to work around things, but not all men are the same. I can't say that Naoya Inoue did that to Jamie McDonald, to the Frenchman Boise, right? And to the other tall guys, like the other Japan fighters that he fought, um, you know, that I can't say, I'm not going to sit here and say just because he did it to them, oh, he should effortlessly work around Espinoza like nothing. It's not, no. No, I'm not willing to go there. I got to give Espinoza his credit as a champion. And boy, let me tell you, the way he fought his last fight, that title defense, woo! I was like, hey, yo, he made me a fan. I was believing in him as a champion. Now I was looking at Robesi like, wait a minute. You might have some problems getting that belt back. It doesn't look like he's going to just give it back to you. You're going to have to fight that man. And then, you know what it is in a fight, guys, right? Once you beat somebody, and you beat him not too long ago, you're going to go into that fight with the confidence you could beat him again. And he's going into the fight going in with I got my ass whooped by this dude. And Robertsi did get his ass whooped. That was a comeback, bro. That was like I think they gave him they didn't give him a comeback of the year, right? He was dropped, I know, early in the fight, but I don't think he got awarded the comeback. I think it was the upset of the year, right? Am I right? I think Espinoza got upset of the year. It was a good comeback too, as well. But as awards, I think that's what they gave him. So I like Espinoza's for those situations against Naoya Inoue. Now, here's scenario number 2 with Naoya Inoue. That's the first scenario to 126. That's the first one. Second scenario, he stays at 122. Even the Vegas fight, 122. He doesn't leave. He waits for Junto Nakatoni and Bam Bam Rodriguez and fighters like them to move up. Maybe he starts working out things for the future. Says, I'll take these 2 fights. These guys says, let me get these 2 fights. We should meet each other right around then. They might know something we don't know. I don't know. It's just a suggestion. I'm putting this out there. See where it lands. Right? These are 2 scenarios, 2 opposite directions. Which one would you like him to take? Which one is more valuable? Going up to 126, just win 1 belt. That's 5 weight divisions right there. As of right now, you're tied with Terrence Crawford. And by the way, Terrence Crawford just got there. Now, oh yeah, in a way, he's been had 4 weight division. He's actually standing in the room looking at Terrence Crawford like, what took you so long? Right? Like, you know what I mean? So it would be 5 for Naoya in a way. So, or do you, it's the responsibility, and I've talked about this, it's the responsibility of the fighter to know himself, know when you're maxed out, know when you reach your limit. Don't allow the fans, the money, push you in a direction you truly knew you shouldn't have gone. But you started to drink too much of your own Kool-Aid. Sometimes fighters just feel invincible. You can't tell them nothing. I've seen it time and time again until they go up there and get a rude awakening. That's what happens. And it's sad because when they finally find out, damn, this guy's better than me, it's too late. It's too late. So it's up to the fighter to understand his or her limitations as a fighter, to be honest with themselves. If they really want to secure their legacy and they got here, you mean to tell me you swam the entire ocean and you're going to drown in the shore? You're going to drown in the shore. You're standing up walking, fell face for, and you allowed yourself to drown. You didn't take the time to pause and take a breath. You kept pushing yourself until you got exhausted and landed face first. And you could no longer stand up and even save yourself from 3 inches of water. That's how exhausted you were from swimming the ocean. Naoya Inoue is responsible for his career. He's responsible for his decisions. Whatever situation, whichever way he wants to go, he's responsible. So if he was to fall in defeat, you can't say, "Oh, you guys, I went up to a higher." No, 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 no. Can't get that. Can't get that. Many fighters try to go up. You lose, you lose. That guy beat you. Saul Canelo Alvarez went up for David Bivol. He lost. He lost the fight. That's it. That's it. Ain't no I was sluggish. Nah. Did you take the fight? Did you ask for the fight? Did you want that smoke? But you didn't like the outcome. So you don't like the results. So now that's when all the excuses come. No, the fighter is responsible for their career. So that's where Naoya Inoue has to make his decisions. I hope whatever decision he makes, I hope it's the right one. I hope he's ready for the decision that he's going to make. And I will continue to support him. So, fight fans, listen. Hold on. Let me say what's up to you guys before I get out of here. Uh, let's hit those likes. Let me read some of your messages. Boxing After Dark. I see your reference Puerto Rican in your opinion. Who would you consider the greatest fighter? Hector Camacho, Felix Trinidad. Well, I mean, Wilfredo Gomez, he's probably the best. When he was at 122 pounds, he had, what was it? I think it was either 30, 32 uh knockouts. He had 100% knockout ratio, right? He had 17 title defenses. At 122, he won all 17 title defenses by knockout. All 17 title defenses by knockout in his entire 122, all the way until he got cocky and decided to move up one weight division. And he got destroyed by Salvador Sanchez. Not he didn't get beat up. He got destroyed. That was a man that was rocking 100% knockout ratio in all fights, previous fights and world title fights. When you came up against him, he was rocking 100% knockout ratio. No man has ever went the distance with him in all of his fight. He had 30 plus fights. 17 title defenses. You got to understand that, bro. It was crazy. And these guys are talking like these guys can jump up and weight 2 or 3 weight divisions just because you can talk it, just because you can say it. They don't understand that that little 4 pounds is not really 4 pounds, by the way, anyway, right? More like 14 pounds because you got to add on, okay, you're jumping up one weight division anywhere between 4 and 6 pounds, right? Between a weight division jump, right? Okay. So when you get that, let's say you guys weigh in on fight night, you guys are both 140, right? He's gonna on fight night, he's gonna gain 15, 16 pounds on you. So that little weight jump you thought that was only 4 pounds that it was gonna take you to get, if you're not a bigger man and you can't pack on that weight, he's gonna still be a lot bigger than you. He's gonna be about 14 pounds north of the equator. So when you're looking at it on paper, like, oh, now he only weighs 122. Well, 126 is right there. That's 4 pounds. No, that's a 14-pound jump. Remember that. Because you never go in the ring what you're weighing. You're not going to go in the ring 126. You got to be able to pack on weight and be as big as he is because he's cutting weight. If you're struggling to just barely get past 126, right? You're like at 135, 138 or something, right? But you got to train. So you can't train sluggish because that 138 is his max weight, right? Boom. Okay. That's where you want to get in on fight night. When you go back down, you're training, you're cutting weight, and you're trying to like fluctuate your weight between fight week. Your body might be so well conditioned that you'll make the weight for the fight. But the night of the fight, when they weigh you again, you gain 6 pounds, 7 pounds, if that. That's it. And this guy, he put on 18 pounds. That's the difference. When we're saying, that's why when they always say, oh, these guys are much bigger. Because boxing has a tendency of talking fast. Because we think everybody should already know that. Everybody should already know that that's what we're talking about when we're saying these guys are bigger. We're not saying they're bigger by 4 pounds. We're saying they're bigger by 18 pounds. That's what we're saying. You see? He's got to let his hands fly. Supporter of boxing, he's got to let his hands fly. And that's what I mean by fighting him, not boxing him. He's not going to outbox Saul Canelo Alvarez. If he goes in there and tries to box Saul, he's going to get knocked out, bro. Fighting is different than boxing. You got to let your hands fly, baby. Grab them on the inside, frame off, push, be aggressive a little. What? Boom, and push off, right? And then boom, boom, boom. When he comes in, when he throw punches, you throw punches. You fight him. He throws, you throw. Let's go. You throw, he throw. Let's go. Come on. Let's get it. Fight him. Get back, but fight intelligent. Don't be stupid. I'm not saying go in there and chin up in the air, hand swing. No. Didn't you have a training camp? That's what you should have been working on. When you do this, what is he doing in this moment? What do you do? What's your next step from right here? What is he doing? He's trying to you grab his arm, you frame off. He back off quick, be alert. Get back in the center, pop, try to pop him, make him think you're boxing him. Nope, I'm not boxing you. Pop, 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 pop. Boom, boom, boom. Grab, boom, frame, boom, off. Set. Watch him. A little. Tap. Don't give him time to settle in. Tap. Don't give him time to set. Tap. Boom. Move. Catch your breath. Breathe. Boom. 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 You know, I don't know. It's I could see it in my head, but I know how smart Saul is. In order for me to develop a game plan against Saul Canelo Alvarez, that's exactly what I would have to do. I would have to go in the lab and I would have to study him. I know a lot about him. I've watched him through the course of the year, but you can't. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I could just come up with a game plan to beat the man just because I cover boxing or I watch. Get the man. Listen, if I could do that, right? But I know how to do my homework. I know how to train. I know how to look for things. I know what I'm looking for, and I know how to get better. And I know how to push myself to get better. I know how to ask questions, and I know how to ask for help. So, with that, I only aim to go in one direction. That's it. So, uh, I'm just curious. I'm really curious. How far is he willing to go, Edgar Berlanga? When you're out on a football field, like bling bling in, going like you guys saw him in the video. He was showing his chain like this, going like this with the earring, showing his little glasses and shit. It's cool to have some nice things. I like nice stuff. It's cool to have nice things, but I'm not fighting Saul Canelo Alvarez. If I want to come on and be like bling, bing, 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 I could do that. I don't got the I don't got the my people on my back and I got all this pressure, and I got people believing in me. I got people buying tickets, renting hotels. I'm fighting traffic, dinner reservations type shit for some people, right? People are moving around because of my name. I got a responsibility to bring that kind of fight to my people, to show that kind of performance for myself. And, to get the respect and the backing of my fans. And if you out there, look at, and you go night night, bro, your career, I don't even want to say it. It could go in a bad direction. So, fight fans, listen, guys, you guys have been amazing. Thank you for tuning in, dropping all your comments and everything. And thank you to all the new subscribers. I want to send out mad love and support to all the just joined my channel. I had a really big month. I had over 816 subscribers. So thank you for you guys recognize um this boxing channel and the insightfulness that I give and the way I bring boxing. Uh, it seems like a lot of people are starting to take notice. I'm starting to grow even more every day, and that's all due in part to you guys. You guys come here to support me. Thank you for everything. And I hope that I just get better and I keep growing from here. Sky's the limit. Listen, you guys have been amazing. Love yourselves. And like always, I'm on to the next one after this one here at Round One Sports Talk. Peace, guys. Have a good night.